welcome back to True Stories Paranormal Survivor. I'm super excited to be back on the radio and to be sharing this experience with you on today. Today is all about kindred spirits, and there is a specific reason as to why I decided to call it that, because that is exactly what I experienced in this restaurant. And I think I'm so excited about this because typically when I have experiences or when spirit decides to come through or I have a message, I'm all alone, or it's something that is personal. It is a personal experience where I am receiving something. I call somebody over and I give them the message because not everybody wants it to be something that is for an audience. And that's the way I like to keep it if that's what they want. But on this particular day, gotta tell you guys, I walked into this restaurant, and things began to happen. And immediately when this happened, it's almost as if I knew something was going on, but I didn't really want to kind of tap into that because, when I'm out and about or if I'm trying to enjoy a moment, that's really what I want to do. But Spirit has other plans. And so I just go with the flow because most of the time I live in between spirit world and the natural world. And I got to tell you, the spirit world is a lot more active and exciting than what this thing we call reality. So I had gone into this restaurant, and this is a place that I like to go to at least once a week, and as soon as I walked into the door, I noticed to the left of me something was happening, and something was happening to a light. Now, there is this pretty large light fixture that is on the wall, and I noticed that it had began to flicker. Now, guys, as I said in the beginning, immediately I knew something was up, but I don't like to call everything something or something everything. I like to kind of weigh the options here. This could be something that's just going on. It could just be an electrical thing. Don't think nothing of it, right? And so when I lived in the haunted house, something that, stuck out to me well before I knew what was going on in the house was that I would walk into my bathroom and the light would go off. And, at first, as many of you probably would do or think, I thought that maybe something was going on, something malfunctioning, some electrical wiring, something. So we want to be safe. So I had, the power people to come out and check, and there was nothing up. Okay. Nothing was going on at all. And then there was a time when we lived in the property and my daughters had gone into their rooms. One had sat on the bed and the light had gone off. Now, Spirit has a way of showing themselves. They have a way of bothering you, messing with you, or just trying to come through. So when I went up to the register, I noticed the light was going on and off, and it flickered, and it stayed off. And there was somebody working in the back, and he turned around. He turned around and he looked at me. He had a very strange look on his face. And it wasn't one of those kind of looks like, hi, how are you? Going to come over and help you out. It's just a very strange look. And so I order my things and I, go back and sit down and wait to be called on so I can go back up and get my things. Now at this time, my friends, the light is now back on. I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to pay any attention because the moment that I say, okay, what is it or what's going on? Or the moment that I really calm the mind, Spirit will begin to do what they want or say what they want in so many words because they know I'm coming. They know I'm there, so to speak. And so I'm trying to overlook it, no big deal. Because, I am a being. I am, a human being, if you want to call it that. I don't like to call myself that, but anyway. And so sometimes I just like to have a moment. And I go back up to the register whenever my name is called to pick up my things, and I notice the light goes on and off again. Now, as I said in the very beginning, in the top of this, that I was able to experience this with other people. So I notice now that the young man has turned all the way around and he starts to smile. I look at him and I realize that he understands that something is happening. My friends, when you have this experience like this and you realize you are in a moment of a connection and you realize that the person that is there, the other entity, this person that is there, they sense something and they notice that there is something about your presence that is causing things to happen. It is fascinating because right away I realize that, what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, what I'm seeing is not just something that's going on with me. Now, there were other people that were in the restaurant and they realized that whenever I moved about the restaurant, this light tend to go on and off, on and off. And I thought, to myself, these people are going to think something is up with me. And believe it or not, they did. Somebody actually asked me, my friends, and this is why I couldn't wait to get back on the radio to share this experience, but they asked if I had some sort of superpowers. No, I do not. I do not take any credit whatsoever for this gift. I believe in my heart of hearts that this is a gift that I was blessed with from God. He has all the power. I am just a vessel. I am just a person that is on the planet as a light worker. And I believe that the gift is to provide a sense of comfort to those on this side. And sometimes there are people out there in the world who don't believe that this type of thing is even possible. They do not think that when their loved ones cross over, or when something happens in the building and energy kind of resides, they don't believe in this sort of thing. So that's where I come in as a light worker and as a vessel, and they show themselves, and I just happen to be there. They know I'm coming. They know I'm there. And that's why these things tend to happen. And so I thought it was quite amazing that I was able to find out that people at the the staff have had several experiences in this building. And so I will be returning to this space for an investigation. And I cannot wait to come back and sign on to the radio and talk to you about what I gather. So my friends, if you are in your homes or a particular place, especially in your homes, I want you to pay attention to things like your night lights. Now, in my home, I have night lights that kind of line my entryways and my hallways and that sort of thing. And there are times when they go off and they will flicker when they shouldn't be. And during those times, that's when I realize and I understand that someone is present. So they will do that. If you have lights that tend to go on and off, I would suggest that you would, you take a moment to find out what that is first. And if it's really nothing that's going on electrically, it could be that a loved one is trying to come through. Now, if you've heard from a source that place could be haunted, as I have with this place, I would think otherwise. I would probably think more of having the place cleansed or, something like that. But look into it. And just realize that even in those moments when you're wondering if someone on the other side is trying to make a connection, take a moment and pay attention to what's going on around you. They can come through and they can have a chat, or they could come through and show themselves while you are out, even in a restaurant. So my friends, I cannot wait to do this investigation. But I have some news for you. I am super excited to be sharing with you that True Stories Paranormal Survivor is going live. Yes, my friends, True Stories Paranormal Survivor is going to be interviewing people like myself or just people who have had some experiences and how it has impacted their lives. And I will be giving you some tips on how to manage and how to get through some of these experiences. Like that whole what happens next, okay? And we'll talk more on tomorrow.